As a child, I was part of one of those families that was always at the church every time the doors were open. We didn't have children's church back then, so from a very early age, I was in worship every Sunday, and it was really great. I could see my friends. There were always really nice older adults who might give me a stick of gum, maybe a quarter to put in the offering plate. And then once the service started, we would get to sing songs. We would hear stories about Jesus. Maybe on a good Sunday, we'd get some grape juice and some bread. And then there was always that 20 minutes where the guy in the long black robe would stand up and talk. It was perfect time to munch on some dry Cheerios, maybe draw a picture, maybe take a nap. As I've grown up, my enthusiasm for worship hasn't changed, but my understanding and appreciation for worship has evolved quite a bit. Here at Highlands, we offer some of the most beautiful and inspirational worship services. At 8:30, we have a beautiful service of Word and Table in our chapel, a service that we intend to really grow and expand on in the coming year. Our 10:30 service is rich in tradition and liturgy with beautiful sacred music and inspirational sermons. And throughout the year, we have special services, especially during Advent and Holy Week, that really touch and feed our souls here at Highlands. One of the best things about worship at Highlands is how much our congregation is involved in planning and preparing and making worship happen. Now, I've asked several of our volunteers to be here today, and I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and just tell you a little bit about what worship means to them.
I'm Lynn Hairston. I'm one of the co-chairs of Altar Guild here at Highlands, and that is important to me because we keep the sanctuary elements, the linens, the paraments, the candles, the crosses, everything in good working order, which is important to worship and which is all ultimately to the glory of God.
Hi, I'm Kate, and I sing in the church choir. To me, worship means sharing the praise of song for God every single Sunday in church.
I'm Lucy Phillips, and I'm a choir member at Highlands UMC Methodist Church. The church and choir members are like a second family to me, so it's like seeing family every Sunday. And I get to praise God and worship through singing.
Hi, I'm Gracie Phillips, and I'm an acolyte at Highlands Methodist Church. And it means to me serving back to God for what He gave me and everybody in the church.
Hi, I'm Caroline Penfield, and I'm an acolyte at Highlands United Methodist Church. Being an acolyte to me is just another way to serve our church and glorify God.
Hi, I'm Randall Wells, and I'm a choir member at Highlands. Being in the choir means it gives me an opportunity to sing, to serve, and to be with my church family. And as you can see, we've got a big family here at Highlands. We like to use a lot of folks in our worship service.
Each of these volunteers and so many others give so generously of their time and their talents to make worship happen. And I just personally want to thank each and every one of our volunteers and our staff for making worship so meaningful here at Highlands. Looking ahead, we have lots of plans to expand our worship ministries here at Highlands, and there are many ways that you can be involved. First and foremost, you can pray for worship. Pray for our worship leaders, those that plan and prepare for worship. Pray for our congregation that it will grow through professions of faith and through the joining of new Christians to our congregation. Secondly, you can support worship through your presence. Sunday morning is the one time of the week that our entire congregation can come together to worship God. With all the wonderful ministries that we have here, this is really the only time that we come together collectively as a church. And so your presence in worship is so vitally important. We all need to take just a few minutes each week to put aside our laptops and our tablets and our smartphones and really focus our attention on God. A third way that you can support worship is through the sharing of your gifts. If you love to sing, then consider joining the choir. If you have the ability to speak in public, then offer to be a reader. Anyone from a youth to a grandparent can be an acolyte. There are so many ways that you can be involved and participate in leading worship. There are also behind-the-scenes opportunities, serving on the altar guild, coordinating altar flowers. Any of these gifts are appreciated. Your financial gifts are also vitally important to the growing ministry of worship at Highlands. As we look towards the future, we want to see our 8:30 and our 10:30 services grow to reach a broad and more diverse community. And it's only through your generous offerings of your time, your talents, and your gifts and your presence that we can actually make that happen here at Highlands. As a child, I had a fairly unsophisticated idea of worship, but when I was in 5th grade, I was asked to be an acolyte. And suddenly I started to get this sense of connection to my church and to my congregation and to what it meant truly to worship God. So I encourage you, as you look towards the future and as you look towards your commitment to this church for the coming year, that you prayerfully consider the ways that you can generously give to the worship ministries at Highlands.